Magavana Melanin. So in this video, I am going to discuss some of the downsides to being an elf because every soul type has its challenges and obstacles. And I am sure that you guys have heard about the different soul types. And Wise One is what the elves, people who have an elven-like nature, will resonate with the Wise One soul type. And being a Wise One myself, I can talk about the downsides as well as some of the assets to this type of journey. And it's important to understand that every soul type has its flaws and its obstacles to overcome, and then it also has some of the great assets and the positive um, the positive nature of just having that particular soul. So one of the things about being an elf is that a lot of times we forget to have fun. So, even though you may be very serious and you take life by the reins and you are definitely in control of your life, you really make sure that you are in control. There are some ways that sometimes that can be kind of a negative thing in your life because you may become a control freak and somebody who is too much in control. So part of your journey in learning how to navigate your life journey is to understand that you are not always in control. And there are times when you are going to be put up against certain events and situations in your life, which you do learn strictly that you are not in control and you lose control of controlling others, controlling things that happen in your life. And it's important to understand that that is exactly what is supposed to happen to you as a Wise One soul. You are in this life, in this incarnation, to learn from some of the past mistakes. Usually wise souls and wise ones are very old souls, and they are typically in either their last incarnation on earth or they're close to last incarnation on earth before they move on to being part of the spiritual immaterial world forever, for eternity, until you decide. And so you're reaching your journey of soul completion. You feel very secure in your life and who you are at your core, but there are some obstacles. So I'm going to try to help you with this. So number one definitely is about self-control and understanding that you cannot control everything and everyone that enters into your life or every situation that enters into your life. So learn that now. If you have been somebody who has been a control freak and people have called you that, or you have been somebody that has had anxiety from when situations don't work out the way that you want them to, this is your time to learn that. So I hope that you stumbled upon my video with no no uh, no coincidence there. It was purely that you needed to hear that. And so, this is something I personally am working on as well, that it is about letting go of control, letting go of both the material attachments to this world and also controlling events and controlling situations that I may perceive as being negative. So that is definitely one of the lessons of the Wise One. Another lesson of the Wise One is ego, identity. And every soul type has that type of particular lesson because that is really the fragmentation of the divine. So when you are in your ego identity, it's very hard for you to see the unique consciousness and become part of the collective consciousness. But when you realize this about yourself, um, as an elf and as somebody who has like a Wise One type, soul type, you will sometimes be a little too much into your ego identity as a Wise One, and that can lead to feeling superior over others. So it is your lifetime to learn that lesson, that you may have more experiences, you may have had more lives that you have lived, but ultimately your goal and the reason why you are on earth right now in a material form is to learn the lessons of love and unity and equality, and to see others as being part of the same potential as you. So because you are an older soul, you don't look down on younger souls at all. You simply help them when you can, or when, you know, it is permitted to you and they want help from you. But really, you're supposed to actually see that they are exactly where they should be at that particular time and moment in their journey. So instead of pitying, you are coming from a place of understanding. And this will not cause negative relationships to happen in your life, because you're not looking down on anybody, you're not being condescending to anybody. You are simply seeing others as spiritually equal to you, and they are at a different place in their stage of awareness and awakening, but it does not necessarily mean that you are better or superior in nature. So this is a very strong lesson that plays out in a wise one's journey. Another lesson that this soul type learns is that you will not know it all. So you may be in this lifetime extremely knowledgeable, intelligent person, you know, somebody who really prizes the idea of knowledge and learning, but you will never learn it all. So that is also something that you are here to learn from, and to know that you may know a lot, and you may definitely increase your understanding and knowledge and wisdom about the universe at large, but you will never know it all. And you need to let go of that need to know everything and know it all, because while you are a physical being, you still have to learn those lessons of humility and the understanding that when you are a wise person, when you truly are a wise one, and when you reach that state of wisdom, you really have to admit to yourself that you really are a fool, in the sense that you don't know it all. And there's several different spiritual quotes and teachers that talk about this, the idea that when you are somebody who thinks they know everything, well, you are really playing the role of a fool. And to be truly wise is to finally realize that you do not know it all, and that there is so much for you to learn. So that is definitely an obstacle for a wise one's soul path. Another type of obstacle that you might need to get over is the idea that you are, in essence, someone that has to be a martyr, somebody that has to die or has to lose their life in order to spread a message to others. If you think back to some of the brave souls in history, think about Jesus, think about Joan of Arc, um, think about some of the women that were burned at the stake during the Salem witch trials. A lot of them went silently to their death, and they did this in a way of trying to spread a message. What comes to mind is this one particular individual. I wish I knew their name, and I will try to find it because I want to honor them in this way. It was somebody who actually burned themselves in front of their government, and I believe it happened in China. They literally set themselves aflame right in front in order to spread a message. What I realized about my particular soul type as a wise one, that tends to come into mind. We want to feel like we need to destroy ourselves, or we need to deny ourselves and become total ascetics, and deny ourselves pleasures or deny ourselves even life in order to spread message and to teach others. And it's important to understand that we need to learn in this lifetime that you do not need to destroy yourselves in order to help others. And in fact, you could do far more when you are alive and when you are not living the life of a martyr. Now, of course, the soul of Jesus Christ is a lot different, and had a different journey and a different path. But being a martyr for a cause, being a martyr to spread a message, is something that really resonates with this particular soul type. And we will be the first to give up our lives in order to, to help others. And that is a difficult path, and it's a difficult lesson to learn, is the idea that we do not have to end our own lives in order to create change. And in fact, creating change can come from the the ability to stay alive and live in the physical plane and keep on being a co-creator with the collective consciousness and helping others in that way. So that is a very strong lesson, and many souls that have gone down in flames in history for the sake of spreading messages, for the sake of being a martyr to a cause, that is something that they may have been reincarnated into learn once again that you can spread your message and you can fight for a cause while you are still living. And so you learn that it's important for you to have your journey as well in this lifetime, and it's not just about you giving up your own life to heal others or to help others. So that may be part of your journey and something that you need to learn. Look into your own life, because it might not be as dramatic as that. You might not be setting yourself afire to make a statement in front of the government, but what you might be doing is self-sabotaging your own life in some kind of way in order to make a point or send a message to another person. So look at yourself in that kind of sense and understand that it does come from wisdom, knowing that sometimes people have to lose something in order to wake up and realize a deeper message behind that person's life. But you need to understand that you can do far more greater good when you actually live out your years and you live longer and are able to really create the change that you want to see. So I think that's really important, and that's something that I have been working on, coming into terms of having, realization of what my soul type is. I've learned that, yeah, there are actual lessons that are attached to old souls. Because, as I said in my other video, you are always learning. You are always a student of the universe, of the cosmos, of God. And so you are constantly learning. And the whole point is to evolve your soul and reach kind of a soul completion process, and going through that process. And you never stop learning. And so it's important to understand that, you as an older soul, as a wise one, you are going to experience some things in your life that are going to be happening to you for a particular reason. And I would even venture to say, even Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, all those higher dimensional beings, they still are learning lessons. They still are having things happen in their lives that cause them to overcome obstacles and triumph in some kind of way. We are constantly learning. So these are some of the difficulties, some of the obstacles of a wise one, that I wanted to talk about, that mainly stick out in my mind as something that you need to not be trapped into thinking. So self-control or control over others is a major lesson. And then the other one is ego-superiority complexes. Make sure that you do not have superior nature over others just because you are older, just because you are wiser. And then number 3, the idea of being a martyr for a cause and feeling like you have to destroy yourself in order to help others. So this is something that a wise one really needs to learn in order to have a very blissful, peaceful experience. And that's something that I am personally working on as well, because at one point all 3 of those things definitely were something that I was doing. And as I am coming now more into the Elven consciousness and the higher states of learning about the world and about everything that comes into my life, and I'm really taking it in, I'm starting to see what were the mistakes that I made in my past, in my history, and how I can make sure that I'm not that person anymore. And I'm also evolving as well as coming to terms with who I am as a soul and what I am here to do. I am also here to learn as well. It is not just about me, teaching others, even though I am trying to definitely help raise consciousness and awareness of one another and unity and love and peace for all nations, all religions, all ethnicities. I also, too, am having a personal journey of learning. So that's the amazing thing about creation, is that all beings, no matter what level you're at, you're still learning, you're still opening up and expanding your own awareness until the very end. So keep on learning, keep on enjoying the journey, and I hope that this kind of gives you a little bit of hints to kind of look into your own life. If you are a wise one, if you want more information about the wise one soul type, I would say look at Doreen Virtue. Go ahead and Google or look on YouTube about the idea of wise one souls. Usually they say that they are, usually very stern looking, or there's some type of serious or intense look to them. They usually have eyes that look like they've seen a lot. They just look like they are wise. They've been around for a long time. They're old souls. They don't look young and fresh to the world. They actually look, more like they're weary old souls. But there is kind of this youthful vibrancy that they can have as long as they learn how to balance. And I would say that the last lesson to learn is really to have fun and to enjoy the journey, because sometimes we get so stuck and serious on our quest to help others as older souls. When we come back, we're like, we want to help others, we want to help others learn and to heal themselves and to bring them out of the states of suffering that they're in. But oh my goodness, I forgot to have fun myself. And that's exactly what a wise one is here to do on Earth. Earth is filled of wonderful opportunities to enjoy a physical life and to enjoy a physical world. And as long as you don't get so trapped in the materialistic version of reality, and you always have one foot on the ground, one foot in the ether realms, then you are able to transcend the material world when you want, and you're never a prison to it, or you're never trapped in it. But it's really important for a wise one or an elven type to learn how to have fun and to let go and just enjoy life, because that is also very important for a soul to learn, is to have fun, to party, and to enjoy this experience that we are each given. So, Hannah and Lay for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.